There are a lot of results out, including Horizon, A2 Milk, Ansell, but we'll leave that there so we can get some analysis of what's going on out there with Peter Maguire, who is joining us from trading.com. Peter, good morning to you. Look, talk to us about the Asian setup, please.
Well, good morning, Nadine. I'll tell you what, it was a nice end of last week, and what we saw as far as Japan and that growth number, with South Korea and so on. So I think the focus is going to be how the Asian markets trade over the next couple of days. We're conscious as far as this time of year with China and so on, and we're Chinese New Year approaching us. So all of those unpacking, it's been a very, very solid move since April. It's been really an out of control bull market, and I'm pretty sure that will continue over the next month or so. So strap yourself in. I think there's still more moves and more move to the upside for Asia.
All right, well, we'll take that as we start this Monday session. Big week for data though, correct?
Yeah, you betcha. You got US Q4 GDP on Friday. You've got PCE inflation numbers, how that's going to be interpreted, Fed minutes. That's just to name a few. I think it's just as it comes to the market, I'm pretty sure you'll see they're expecting an annualized GDP number around 3% for the 3 months to December, Nadine, slowing from 4.4% in Q3. But if you're looking at the Atlanta Fed GDP now model, they're saying 3.7%, and many analysts are calling it's going to be closer to 4%. So it's we're waiting for that number to drop, and naturally that would impact Fed rate decisions with strong GDP. And of course the unemployment NFP number last week was certainly a very strong number at 130,000.
And inflation at least looks to be cooling if you go by Friday's data.
You betcha. It was running around about that 2.4. So the last two months, November and December, 2.7. So it's moving certainly in the right direction. Energy prices are coming down. US inflation slowed to 2.4, down from, as I mentioned, forecast to be 2.5. You've got annual core inflation. They're looking at that. It's cooled to around about 2.5%. So that's moving in the right direction. And a lot of prices for goods are certainly far cheaper right now than what they were over the last few years.
So Pete, look, what do you think will be driving the Australian dollar? Will it mostly be, clearly what happens with the US, also any data out of China? But, the Aussie dollar has been so strong lately. Where do you see it going?
Well, we tipped it to get through 71, and it did, and it bounced, and it's now, 70 and 70, 75 sort of number. I think it's got more potential to the upside, Nadine, maybe a 71.5. A couple of things. First off, that US dollar coming under pressure. We understand it's under 97 now at 96.85 sort of handle. You've got the 2-year being crushed. That's at 3.41, and you've got a 10-year at 4.05. They're US bond rates. So they're coming down. They're being crushed to the downside. So I expect to be a softer US dollar moving forward. How many Fed rate cuts, and naturally, are we just sitting on our hands now, or are we going to see another rate increase over the next couple of months? So all of those ingredients going into the melting pot, I'd say Aussie dollar a little bit stronger from here, and US dollar coming under more pressure.
Okay, and can you just give us a thought as to what's happening with gold, Peter, as we embark on this 5-day trading week?
5,050, Nadine. It's bounced nicely to the upside. You're about $400 odd off all-time high. There's more potential, I think, over this week to move higher. Keeping our eyes naturally on those Fed minutes, what happens as far as global policy. Silver's very much undersold, or oversold, I should say, at $78, and gold, it's on an upward trajectory. So, might take 6,000 out quicker than we think.